If you're a person that has clairvoyant dreams, you'll be interested in this. Yesterday I wrote that I think that visualization during meditation can allow you to control when you get information. Long periods between clairvoyant dreams, and then every once in a while you'll have a clairvoyant dream. Yesterday morning I was doing my morning meditation, visualizing your heart house and what it looks like, and if anyone's in there that you don't want in your heart house, to get them to leave. I saw the house, I saw where it is, and I wrote that it's facing the bend in a small river, and then behind it is a grove of crabapple trees. I was choosing where to walk today, and I picked a place, and as I was driving to it, I saw the driveway for this trail. On a whim, I just turned in here. Right when I started, I'm like, oh, these trees look like my meditation yesterday. But I didn't see any water. And then I crossed this little bridge and there's a bend in the creek and the trees look just like my meditation. Beside this creek. And I'm like, I was here yesterday. I already had been thinking that when you meditate and when you have more of a spiritual life, time changes. I'd been thinking at the beginning of the walk, after I first saw the trees, that as I become more peaceful, I realize time is changing. How do I describe this? As though everything that will happen in my life kind of has already happened or is predetermined for each change you make in yourself. So it's as though when your soul starts and gets put in this life, in this body with this family, that there's a way they know it could go or will go if you continue in the way your soul was when you began, or if you become more aware of outside of the material world, you become more aware of the energy, then that elevation of your soul, the life of that has also been determined already. It's not like fate, it's more just like that's how it will go if the energy goes that way, and if it doesn't, then it has to go the other way. And so when I was walking, I was feeling like me being here now was already predetermined, and that's why I had that meditation yesterday, and then reaching the point in the forest in real time the next day of my heart house in my meditation is showing that my heart space, my heart chakra is aligned, is back where it wants to be. And then just after that was when that tussock caterpillar was dangling in the center of my path.
But he's moving, but I have to get through here. It's a tussock moth caterpillar, which can really fuck you up.
It reminded me of like a ghost. It's hovering in the air. You don't know where it's hanging from. You can't see where it's hanging from. And I already associate those caterpillars as of like 2 weeks ago with my dad, because one was on his tree when we went to visit it a few weeks ago, and then one bit my mom in the throat like a few days ago, and she described the color of it, and I already knew what it was because I had researched it when I saw it on the tree, and that's the same moth, caterpillar moth that was hanging there. And so I knew that was like, I just crossed the bridge, I just saw the creek, I just saw the grove of apple trees, and then there's the threshold, the invisible kind of threshold that I get to pass through and by.
It's clear here. So he's hanging straight down. Yep, he's hanging straight down.
Is internally a completion of that process. And then I saw 2 snakes. Prior to seeing the snakes, I had also been saying to myself, it's one thing to level up. I need to reach this level internally and spiritually before I make any other moves in the material world, that this comes first or those won't matter. And then I got the message that the legacy that my dad wanted me to lead, that my soul is supposed to lead, is this energetic work. If they know that I'm going to become ill in 5 years and die young, this energetic work has to be done, whereas purchasing property or whatever for the family does not have to be done, like, ever, for my soul. So I had been thinking about that, oh, this is the work that has to be done. And not only do I have to have this discipline and this new state in myself, it has to be impervious to outside toxic influence. That's why I'm still in the environment I'm in, to temper me, to temper my state, that it can't be influenced, it can't be permeated by, I don't want to say evil, but kind of. It's funny that I passed the threshold with the caterpillar and hovering in space, and then I see the snakes. You know, it's kind of like you've healed the root, you've healed the sacral. The solar plexus was always pretty good, and the heart, you've cleaned the heart house, and you've told those people to leave, and it's beautiful and everything. And you're still gonna encounter these snakes, because we're moving up. And it's funny, now that I think about it, after I saw the snakes, my throat really started to hurt and bother me. So this is where we are. More to go. Thanks for listening.